Hello again. So today I'm continuing my old Resident Evil kick, the kick that I kind of lost interest in, but I'm kind of getting back into the kick. And I'm continuing with the next chapter in the chronological order that I have. Resident Evil Damnation. It takes place after the events of Revelations 2, but before the events of Resident Evil 6. And if you've seen the first CG Resident Evil movie, you know what to expect. I should probably get into it now. Okay, so the rough synopsis of this story is quite simple. You got a fictitious third world Eastern Bloc country, and there's been reports of BOWs, or bioorganic weapons, being used in the fighting. It's in the middle of a civil war, by the way, and so Leon Kennedy gets sent in to investigate. And that's the general premise. Uh, yeah, if you've seen the first CG movie, Resident Evil Degeneration, then you know what to expect. You have a couple of really obnoxious, annoying characters that, quite frankly, I could not wait to die. You have a couple of cool characters. You have a couple of characters that are really melodramatic. Like, really melodramatic. You have the typical I am pure evil villain. The story's not really why you watch this. It's for the visuals and the popcorn action scenes. This is really a popcorn film like the first CG movie was. Alright? I don't really find the movies that scary, and so this is really just something to sit on the couch, eat some popcorn with, have a good time. Now, admittedly, in terms of story, it does make one improvement over the last CG movie. The last CG movie had a story where it was trying to be this big, broad, global story almost, where it has ramifications across the entire series, and that movie's never once referenced. This movie, on the other hand, basically, there is a line in this movie where it's like, so basically nothing changed, everything stays the same. It's like, yeah, pretty much. And in terms of the overall, series, I kind of like that with this movie, that it doesn't really try to get too big for its own good. It actually just had a story, okay? It just did that and moved on. It wasn't trying to, change anything like the first movie did. So, I enjoyed that. And, typically, like the last movie, a lot of the voice acting was very cringy. Just ugh, that was a bad line. I mean, nothing as bad as Resident Evil Revelations bad, but even the voice actor who frequently does Leon Kennedy, he's typically good, but in this movie, he just had a couple of really lame lines. Just come on, man, I know you can do better. The only voice actor who didn't really do any cringy lines was Ada Wong. Her voice actor, was okay, yeah, Ada Wong, not doing any cringy lines, thank you. Thank you. The main reason why I enjoyed this movie was for the computer-generated imagery of, just all the scenes. I mean, this thing is gorgeous to look at. The way they do lighting and, the way they did the architectural design, the Capitol building looks like a Roman Colosseum building or something like that. And the architecture, just the way the art design is and the way the computer generation is really gorgeous. Another really great thing about this were the action scenes. I mean, you do have a really cool third act climatic action set piece that's a lot of fun. And then you have a couple of those set pieces that are pretty cool, but that last one, it is really exciting. It puts the final like action sequence in the first CG movie to shame, because that one was just like two humans against one monster, and this one was like almost a battlefield between like 4 against like 20, and it was a really satisfying like fight scene. So the movie can be melodramatic at times, and so ultimately, if you're a fan of Resident Evil, you'll probably like this. If you want just a really good-looking cartoon with some fun action, you'll like this. If you cannot stand cringy dialogue or acting at all, stay away from this at all costs. Because, you know, just like the first film. Yeah. Oh, another thing. Credit where credit's due. I really appreciate this. I like that they finally changed Leon Kennedy's outfit. He is no longer wearing the same clothes that he wore in Resident Evil 4 and in Resident Evil Degeneration. Someone finally got him a new set of clothing. Now, there is a scene where they do a homage to that where he's wearing the blue shirt and the jeans again. But, you know, it takes time to get someone into a new clothing style, besides just the same thing over and over for, I think it was 3 years. Allegedly, Leon Kennedy wore that same type of clothing for 3 years. So, find that funny. But anyway, my next Resident Evil review will be Resident Evil 6. So, that's been my review of Resident Evil Damnation. My name's Chris with 11th Hour Reviews. And that is all.